This webcast is step 2 of setting up your graduation planner application in Texas to be able to do personal graduation plans for students. So, as we get started, remember log in. If you do not have a login, you need to get in touch with your system administrator, or if you don't remember your password or have difficulties getting in. You are going to launch graduation plan just like we did before. We are still going to be working under maintenance and district, but this time instead of going to tables, we're going to go to graduation requirements. And here under graduation requirements, this is the platform that we have to work with. Here we have listed all of our graduation plans that we are working with. Okay, these are all the ones on that first table from when we did our tables. Here you have all the content areas here across the top in order to develop what they need in each content area to develop your plans. So this is the basis of what you're going to be working in when you start developing an actual plan. So we're still developing the setup at this point in time. So for a demonstration, let's go in and let's do a recommended code 28. This is a recommended high school program. This is for, you see in the parentheses, the 08, 09 through 11, 12. This is for students who entered 9th grade anywhere between the years of 08, 09 as a cohort and 11 and 12. So anytime in between there, they can use this plan. If they're outside those ranges, then they cannot use this plan. But let's say we're going to use that plan and we're going to retrieve it. As you can see, I've already done some work here. Again, the course is here across the top. And then here you see that there's this blank side and there's this side right here that has all these courses. What I have done is I searched for courses by using this mechanism right here. I searched for title and I just did retrieve. If I leave that other column blank, it pulls up every single course. And you can see that these Englishes are shaded out here because they're listed over on the right side. Because I moved them over to, these are the classes that are accessible when you go in to the English side of it and you start selecting classes for a graduation plan. If we use the switches down here, you can see there's 10 pages total. There's 25 rows, which means there's 250 lines in this particular table. Let's go to page 2, and as you can see, these Englishes are shaded out, but the math is not shaded out because we're in the Language Arts tab, not the Math tab. So the other thing you will notice is all of these courses that go into these tables must have the meet state requirements, because all of our courses do meet state requirements. And all of our courses are going to have an identified grade level. Now, don't let that confuse you. It is a requirement in the system that we identify grade level, but it is not specific to only assigning that course at that grade level. For example, we may have a student who comes in as a sophomore but needs to take English 1. English 1 is listed as a 9th grade course. Does that mean that sophomore cannot take it? No, of course not. They can take the class. It's just we have to identify where the course is primarily taught. Even if it's a mistake and it says 9th grade, but you primarily teach it at 12th grade, that's okay. All we have to do is assign it because that makes it available for you to utilize whenever you're actually writing the PGPs. So if you don't know, make your best guess and we can go forward. If we toggle over to speech here, you can see I've already done the speech, which is communication applications. Got all those checked and I've got the appropriate grade level. Now let's go over here and I want to do some fine art work. Okay. So again, I don't exactly know all the courses we teach. I know we teach art, but maybe there's some music classes or something like that. So let's go by title and let's retrieve what all's there. Now you can see that these are unshaded again. So these are available for me to click over here, but English is not an art class or not a fine arts class, so we're not going to select those classes. So we're going to scroll through until we find some fine arts classes. So this is science, so nothing in science. Those are not fine arts. Social studies, there's one, art 1. Art 1, very good. Now we have another art 1 here too. So let's look at that. I've added those over here by double clicking. And we have art 6021 and art 6022. Well, the reason we put both of these over here is we are on 9-week reporting periods. Every 9 weeks is a half a credit, which means every 18 weeks is a full credit, which means between August and December is a whole credit, and between January and May is another whole credit. In that situation, the 6021 is a full ARC credit for the fall, and 6022 is a full ARC credit for the spring, which is ultimately, if they can't take both classes because you only take Art 1 once, but let's say that was Art 1 and Art 2, that would be 2 full credits over the course of the whole year in an art class, for example. Remember, we have to click here that they meet state standards, and Art 1, let's say, is going to be taught at the 10th grade level. Identify that, and then we click Save, and there we go. The other thing you have to do on this tab is you actually have to identify how many fine arts credits are required. By state requirements, at least 1 fine art credit is required, so we're going to type 1.0, click Save, and we're good to go. Now, do notice that it keeps adding up as you add up your required credits. If you're on a minimum program, it's 22. If you're on recommended, it's 26. If you're on foundation, it's 26. If you're on an endorsement, it's 26 plus the requirements for that endorsement. So that is where we're at for that. Now, I want to show you something else here, though. This is something that's kind of important. Let's go back to title and let's go to retrieve. Now, these are direct teach courses right here, but as you know, we have computer-based and we also have module-based courses. And those are identified with a different coding level. As you can see, we're still looking at direct teach classes because they are all these numbers. C in front of it stands for a career tech. CT is career tech. So none of these are career tech. None of our art classes are career tech at this point. So I want to go ahead and keep scrolling through here. Now we come across these L's, like L001. L stands for computer-based. So let's see if we have any computer-based art classes, because if we do, we probably need to put them over here because they are available when we go to plan out a kid's personal graduation plan. So let's see if we come across any. There's Theater Arts. Theater Arts 1, that is a course that is art focused. It's a fine art, so we need to put those over there. Let's see what else we have. And that's it. So we didn't have any. Didn't have any there at all. Also, you'll run across from time to time that there's a different letter here, S. S stands for self-paced, and that's like the module courses. And if you had module courses that were a fine art, then you would double click them over here, and then you would have them over here because those would be options. Again, we made changes, so we're going to click Save. And I forgot to put the grade level. See, it gives me a flag when I forget to do something. So we have to do that. And we're going to say this is a 10th grade class as well. And we're going to go back up here and click Save. And there we go. We cleared that error. So that is what you have to do after graduation. You have to set up each of these tabs in order to do that. And this right here should represent the appropriate number of required credits from each area. Because it doesn't mean they're taking all these courses. It means these are all options when you're scheduling that 1 credit that they have to have. So that's kind of how that works. Once you get that done, then we would be done with the setup. That is the maintenance under district. We've done tables, and now we've done graduation requirements. That concludes this video of step 2, setting up the graduation requirements.